welcome our valedictorian, Cady.
The purpose of the class valedictorian giving a speech at graduation is to share some wisdom that they have learned with the rest of their class, to share some life experiences that have helped them get this far. I guess the best wisdom that I could give to you is something that hit me a few years ago. A lot of you have seen it doodled on my notebooks, or even something to keep me awake in Mr. Yanni's class. The thing I'm talking about is faith, love, and rodeo. It may not seem all that profound, but when you look a little deeper than just these three simple pictures, there's actually a lot behind it. The first part of the equation is faith, what you're putting your trust in. I chose a long time ago to put my trust in Jesus Christ, and it was the best decision that I've ever made. I know that without His love and guidance, I would not be standing up here today. A lot of you may be rolling your eyes right now thinking, oh gosh, another Jesus speech. But it's so much more than that. It's knowing that no matter what happens or where life takes you, He will always be there, watching over you, protecting you, and guiding you on the path He wants you to take. And that path is always a good one. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." We do not know where our lives are going to take us. Sure, we might think we know what we want right now, but a year from now we may be thinking something completely different. I don't know about you, but the thought of deciding my entire future at the beginning of next fall kind of freaks me out. But I do know that if I trust in God and follow the plans that He has for me, I will have hope and I will prosper. And to me, that's enough reason right there to trust Him completely. The second key to my success is love. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of love from our freshman year where we dated someone for a week and then told everyone we were in love. I'm talking about something much bigger. I'm talking about every mom, dad, aunt, uncle, pastor, teacher, counselor, and friend that you've ever had has cared enough about you to help you succeed. And if you haven't already done this today, take a minute to thank each and every one of these people in your life. I know that without a lot of you, I never would have survived some of my classes the past 4 years. So I want to say thank you. Thank you, Michelle, Courtney, and Mallory, for all of our collective chemistry assignments. Thank you, Taryn, for helping me read music in band. Thank you, Tanner, for always helping me on my woods projects, even after my big speech about how just because I'm a girl doesn't mean I can't do it myself. Thank you, Gracie and Andy, for keeping me calm during some of our very stressful times of marching season. Thank you so much, Amanda and Sam, for teaching me that it's not called cheating, it's comparing answers. I know that I wouldn't have survived both trig and advanced math without you guys. Thank you to everyone else in my class for every smile in the hallway, every time you let me borrow a pencil or a piece of paper, and for making sure that when you asked Johnny a question on his test, you did it loud enough that we could all get the answer. Thank you also to my teachers. Thank you, Mr. Chrisman and Mr. Spatchak, for making sure that I never got an easy A. Thank you, Mr. Ayler, for encouraging me to not only get stronger, but also set an example for the underclassmen. Thank you, Mr. Morrison, for helping me reach my best in English, even though I still don't like it. Thank you, Mrs. Contrell, for helping me discover my passion and always encouraging me to reach outside my box. Thank you, Mrs. Cox, for the hours and hours that you spent practicing with all of us to make sure that we did our best at every FFA competition. Thank you especially to Mr. Brayman for every smile, every joke, and every "have a great day," because whenever I heard that, it really did improve my day, even if it just made me smile. Thank you so much to my parents for encouraging me to always strive to be my best. Thank you for telling me the things that seemed impossible to accomplish. That way I felt even better about myself when I did accomplish them. Thank you for always loving and supporting me, no matter what obstacles popped up in my life. Thank you, Dally, for always picking on me. You definitely made me strong. Thank you for getting good grades in high school. That way I had to work twice as hard to beat you. Thank you all so much for investing in my life. I would not be the person that I am today if it weren't for each and every one of you. The final part of my you may be wondering how rodeo could make all of you successful, but it isn't about the sport, but the heart behind the sport. Rodeo is something that I'm very passionate about. I spend hours practicing, and even more hours feeding my horses and cleaning pens and trailers. I put my faith and love into radio, trusting that God will protect me with every run and seeking advice from those around me with more experience. For your own success equation, put your passion in this third lane. Think about one thing in your life that you wake up in the morning thinking, if I could spend my whole day doing this, it would be a really amazing day. Maybe it's music or baseball, motocross or farming, I don't know. But whatever it is, don't give up on it. Don't come back to our 10-year reunion and say, yeah, I used to be really into that, but I just don't have time anymore. Find something that makes you not just get out of bed each morning, but jump out of bed with a huge smile on your face. Today is a very exciting and somewhat hectic day for most people. After this, you will probably go to your reception or maybe some friends' receptions. But once you finish opening all your presents, cashing all your checks, and sending out all those thank you notes, take a minute to think about the person you want to be. Not the career you want to have, but who you want people to remember when you're gone. Ask yourself, who or what am I putting my trust in? Who around me can help make me successful, and who can I help to be successful? What am I the most passionate about that will help me to be a happier, more successful person? And finally, take a minute to define what success means to you. My grandma is 77 years old. She's never had a ton of money. In fact, sometimes not more than just enough to get by. She doesn't have a huge house or a fancy car, but those things don't define success to her. To her, success is Christmas time, when all 5 of her kids, 12 grandkids, 6 great-grandkids, and all the husbands and wives gather together at her house. There's way too much food, not near enough room, and way too many people, each one talking louder than the other one so they can be heard. But during this chaos, I always find time to look at my grandma, when she's sitting by herself, not talking to anyone. You would not believe the smile on her face, because as she looks at her family, she sees how successful she's been in her lifetime. She doesn't know this, but it's because of that she's one of my biggest heroes. I want to encourage each person in this room today to take a minute and think about what success means to you. Underclassmen, you may think it's being in the starting lineup or going out with the hottest guy in the class, but really think about it. Seniors and anyone here that's in college, you might think that it means getting the degree that will get you a job that makes a lot of money. But really, think about it. Parents, grandparents, maybe you think it's just saving up as much money as possible so you can retire. But really, really think about it. And when you do decide what success really means to you, don't let anyone or anything stand in your way of reaching it. Thank you.
Good job, Cady.